Hi, my name is Jim Francis and welcome to Wealthy Network. Before we get started, please take a look to my immediate left. You'll see a sign-up sheet there. What I'm going to encourage you to do is to put in your name and your email address and hit the submit button. And when you do that, we'll immediately send out to you a great bonus. That bonus will literally help you get on the path to financial success and freedom. So make sure you plug into the sign-up sheet right away to get that free bonus. I'm also going to ask you to listen to me for the next 20 minutes or so, because in the next 20 minutes on this video, I'm going to share with you at least 6 strategies that can help you get on the path to financial success. We also want to take a look at the letter below and see how we can help you in terms of putting you on that path through some of the services and products that we have available. At the very least, maybe go down to the bottom of the sales letter and hit that Facebook button and join us on Facebook. Because every single day, every single month, we share with people great strategies and tools to become more effective in terms of financial freedom. As I said, my name is Jim Francis, and like many of you, I've had the dream of becoming financially free. When you're coming out of high school or college, that dream is often scripted by your parents or by business or whatever it might be. And what most people do when they come out of college or university is immediately go into the workforce. Now, I'm not sure that that's the best way to get to success in terms of your dreams, but it certainly is a path. And I did it. I spent 8.5 years in a Fortune 500 company. And as I spent that time in the Fortune 500 company, I quite often said there must be a better, easier, quicker way to success and to become financially free. But I did it. I worked what is called the 40-40-40 plan. And the 40-40-40 plan basically means you're working 40 hours a week for 40 years, basically to take a 40% pay cut at the end of it. And as I was doing that plan, I realized what job stands for. In many cases, it stands for just over broke. And many people get that plan from their parents, get that plan from society, from business itself, because they want good worker bees. And I kind of equate that plan nowadays as to getting into the maze. And what I mean by the maze is we're all looking for the cheese, and the cheese is the cash, the retirement, the financial freedom, whatever it might be. And many of us get into that maze and we never get out. We get lost in the maze. And many of you saw the book that came out recently that said, "Who Moved My Cheese?" And I kind of believe that. The cheese has moved over the last several years. So many people nowadays are getting laid off, fired, losing their jobs after working there for 20 or 30 years. And there's got to be a better way to get to the cheese. There's got to be a better way to get to the goal to retirement, to get to that million or 2 million or 5 million that we need to be financially free. And I heard a statistic just recently that says, the cheese is actually $1.2 million nowadays. If you don't have $1.2 million by the time you get to retirement, you're not going to have a comfortable retirement and you'll be struggling. Well, I found that there's a way to get there fast. There's a way to get there quick and easy, and that way is really, cutting through some of the obstacles, not following the long and painful way, but the quick and easy way to get to the cheese. So over the next 20 minutes, what I want to share with you is a couple of strategies and techniques so that I can get you on the path to success quickly, break through some of those obstacles, and let's get to financial freedom in the next 3, 5, 7 years as opposed to the next 25 years. When you think about it, I think the quickest way to get to success, to get to financial freedom, is to have mentors in your life, to have people that have gotten to the cheese quickly and fast and can show you how to get there quickly as fast as well. In my life, I've had the rare privilege of spending time with 50-plus millionaires and 2 billionaires. Each of those individuals, whether it was business or real estate, stock market, or personal development, had strategies and techniques that helped me and scripted me and got me onto the path. So what I would encourage you to do is to get mentors in your life. People who have gone out there and done it. And that means you got to spend a little money to get those mentors in your life. Success is not cheap. Success requires a little bit of cash. One of those mentors very early in my career, when I was working in the Fortune 500 company, was a guy named Jim Rohn. Now, Jim Rohn said 2 things to me. The first thing he said was, if you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you'll make a fortune. And what that means is most people, when they go through college or university, go into the job market. When they get into the job market, their financial learning stops. They start working hard on the job. They get skill sets, whether that's management or motivation or leadership or selling or skills to those of customer service, those kind of computer skills, get skills to those effects. and they don't work on themselves anymore. And what you really need to do is to build an educational plan outside of your work. Spend 1 hour or 2 hours a week working on strategies and techniques, and there's over 300 plus financial strategies that can have an impact in your life. Learn those 300 plus financial strategies and make a difference in your life and have a rich future as opposed to a poor future. The second thing that Rohn said to me is you are the sum total of the five people that you hang around with, that you associate with. So the obvious question is, who are you associating with? Are they the kind of individuals that are stirring your intellect? Are they the kind of individuals that are giving you strategies and ideas and concepts, and moving you forward in life, or are they holding you down? And if the kind of individual that are negative are holding you down, it's time to get rid of them. Put them on the sidelines for a while and hang out with people that are successful. Simply grab onto their shirt tails and follow them to success. Learn their techniques, learn their strategies, become an apprentice to them. And if you start to learn some of those strategies, you too can have success. I know in my own life, when I spent the time with the 50 plus millionaires and the 2 billionaires, I learned different strategies. And whether it was the stock market or real estate or business, I put them to work. And I've had the rare privilege of investing in real estate. I'm a stock trader, have been since I've been 22. I'd say I'm much more successful in the last 10 years than I have been in the previous years because I've spent more time learning about the stock market and different strategies. In fact, one of my favorite strategies is credit spreads because it's a monthly cash flow strategy. I've owned businesses, in Canada and in Australia, Singapore. I have the privilege of setting them up, getting them up and running, hiring people, getting things going. I also do the internet business. I have books and tapes out there that sell out in the marketplace. So I've got published works. I do some training and some speaking, and literally have talked to over 100,000 people in my lifetime, if not more. And I have some products out there as well. So you've got to make sure that you start to apply those strategies, whether it's small business, real estate, stock market, whatever it might be. So let me kind of talk to you about what I believe is a key to success, and that's really what I call the wealth wheel. And the wealth wheel is 6 major areas, 6 major strategies that you have to focus on if you truly want to be financially successful. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to take a page, and when you take that page, a blank page, draw a big circle on it, and then cut that circle into 6 pie pieces. And we'll actually take notes on each area, but the 6 major areas we're going to talk about, you might want to segment them in terms of the areas, is education, cash flow growth, big hits, leverage, and asset protection. And this is really the beginning concept that we bridge into a much bigger strategy session, called the Millionaire Matrix, which has over 300 financial strategies in it. But this is kind of the beginning piece to kind of give us the concept of how to build wealth. So if you get those 6 pieces on a piece of paper there, the first area we're going to focus on is education. I really truly believe that you have to pay the price in terms of learning knowledge and strategies. And you can't do that through a book. A book will only give you so much information. A book may give you a theory, but it can't give you the practical application of that theory. And that's where coaches come into play. So not only do you need the strategy, but quite often you need to have that mentor, that coach, that individual that will give you immediate feedback to help you get on the path to success. And there's lots of good coaches and mentorship programs out there. Some are expensive, some are cheap, some are $20,000, some are a couple of $100. But you've got to spend the time. In fact, one of the things you want to do is make a commitment to yourself to increase your knowledge about financial strategies every week. I'd say that commitment is at least 1 hour a week, so that you can get on the path to financial success. Now imagine that. If you spent 1 hour a week, maybe that's Sunday nights from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, because most people aren't doing much on Sunday night except watch television, and television steals your dreams, by the way. But if you're watching, if you're spending that hour on education in terms of strategies, if you apply that over time, those months and years, will put you in a whole different future. So commit to education, and then commit a little bit of money towards that education. Whether that's $500 a year or $5,000 a year, make sure you make that commitment. I know my commitment is to go to 2 workshops minimum a year. In addition to which, I buy books from Amazon every month, and I learn new strategies every single day. I have a commitment to education. The second major area is cash flow. Now, what I mean by cash flow is you've got to focus on cash flow first out of the gate. And I'm talking about, yes, you want to have a job because that gives you a base level of income coming in, but you also want to focus on at least 3 other areas to have monthly cash flow. I'd suggest the stock market is an area that you want to focus in terms of cash flow. Now, I'm saying the stock market is an area you want to focus on cash flow, not on growth. We'll talk about growth in a minute, but you've got to be getting monthly cash flow out of your stock investing. And whether that's covered calls or credit spreads or some other technique, we want to make sure we're using those techniques to build monthly cash flow. Real estate. Real estate is a great game, and it's a great game where you can get monthly cash flow through rental income, through vacation rental income, through flips and assignments and those kinds of things. So we want to make sure we're building cash flow through real estate. And the last is business. Certainly business in terms of building a business on the side, whether that's a consulting business or whether that's an internet business that we start relatively inexpensively but builds us $100, $500 a month positive cash flow. That's something we want to do immediately. The third major area is growth. Once we've got our cash flow considerations looked after, we want to focus on growth. And that's really buy and hold strategy. Whether that's the buy and hold strategy in the stock market or whether that's the buy and hold strategy in the real estate game. I'd prefer the real estate game in the stock market because I really believe that you'd be much better off doing technical trading and trading the ups and downs in the stock market than you would just a straight buy and hold. But there are some good buy and hold concepts out there. Certainly Warren Buffett has a good concept. Certainly Can Slim, William O'Neill, IBD has a good concept. So you want to learn those kind of techniques and strategies for long-term growth in the stock market. And you want to learn about fundamentals and technical trading, no question, no doubt. And there's lots of good companies out there. One of the ones that I prefer and have had good dealings with are Thinkorswim and InvestTools. Great group. The fourth major area is the big hits. If we're building cash flow, when we're building growth, then the fourth area is let's get that occasional big hit, a big windfall, from our investing and from the activities that we do. When you think about big hits, that really comes down to, in the real estate game, maybe foreclosures or an option strategy. In the stock market, it comes down to that, that big run up on a stock that makes your whole year, in terms of a big movement or whatever it might be. And that might be a movement on the upside or the downside. The market just recently crashed. There are lots of stock guys out there that made a fortune when that happens because they're set to do it with a protected put, or something to that effect. The next major area is leverage. You want to spend time learning about leverage. And when I say leverage, kind of three things come to mind. There's a dozen strategies there, as we certainly talk about in the Millionaire Matrix. But the three that come to mind are one-time leverage, getting other people to do the work and you getting paid. And that might be an MLM, that might be employees, that might be, some worker bees doing the work and you doing the marketing, and the marketing is on automatic pilot, for example. Certainly options in the stock market, if you know what you're doing, can be a great leverage piece for you. Certainly investing in real estate is a great leverage piece, because we put a minimum down, 10%, 20% down, and we have the ability to borrow money, relatively inexpensively, and our assets appreciate based on the big value, not the little value. So leverage is a great piece. And the next major area is maybe intellectual rights. Learning about how to use intellect or intellectual rights and sell them. And literally writing a book or an informational product. Building it once and getting paid forever. Something I learned from Ken Blanchard very early in my career. Something that you want to focus on as well. And what's going to happen as you do this is immediately when you start to have good success, you start to build your assets, you start to have cash. You kind of become a target. So one of the things you really need to focus on is asset protection. Asset protection and taxes, are going to be a key to your future. What I mean by that is 1/3 to 1/2 of your wealth is going to come from tax planning and asset protection. So we want to make sure that we have a good asset protection plan, whether that's using structures or whether that's using a land trust or whatever it might be in terms of protecting our assets. We want to do that correctly. We want to have the right tax plan. I saw a statistic just recently that says, most Americans on average pay between 22 and 24% in terms of their taxes, after all their deductions and those kinds of things. Yet the richest 400 pay less than 16%. Well, why is that? Well, they're setting themselves up for success. They're using the right plans, the right tools to be successful. And you know what? Those tools and those plans are available for us if we spend a little bit of money and understand those strategies and those kinds of things. And I know for a fact that if you spend the time on those six major areas, education, cash flow, growth, leverage, asset protection, that you'll be able to live some of your dreams. And whether that's, traveling the world or going on cruises or buying toys like the car, the plane, the train, or whether that's going to the pyramids or seeing a sunset or vacationing with your kids or sending your kids to the college of their choice, not the college of the street. I know that those strategies are a key to success, those 300 plus strategies. And many people aren't living their dreams nowadays. If you take a look at, many people got hurt in the last several years. Real estate values tend to be in the toilet right now, so a lot significant part of their asset base. Some of them even lost their houses, their own personal houses or their rental houses. Many folks have lost a small fortune on the dips because they didn't know effective strategies on how to play the downside. Maybe their credit has been restricted, their business credit has been restricted, their personal credit has been restricted. Some of them even fried their credit because they couldn't meet the bills that were coming in every single month. Some people have had their retirement accounts devastated, whether that's devastated, in terms of the stock market, or whether that's devastated because they had to tap it, to get to success or get to live out the next couple of months or years. And for those folks that have had challenges, I'm going to suggest to you that the first place you need to start is your mindset. There will be a better day. Before the rainbow, there comes rain. You've got to make sure that you're the victor, not the victim in the process. So make sure that you're the victor, not the victim. Don't succumb to it. Make your breaks. Don't succumb to them. Your greatest achievements are ahead of you. God wants to show you His favor. Now that this moment in time, it's a time to dream more, not less. Don't think that, geez, I'm going to have a very poor future, or I'm just going to make ends meet. Now is the time for you to step up. Now is the time for you to say, hey, listen, I'm going to make my life different. I'm going to have a rich golden future in the next 3 to 5 years and make up for those losses that just happened very quickly. And in fact, what I'd like to see happen is a financial miracle. I'd like to see a financial miracle in the next 3, 5, 7 years, where we ensure that you have more gold in your future than your past. We'll help you get yourself a raise. We'll do that in terms of building some other additional income streams, but also we might be able to get some of the income right out of your existing job and show you a strategy to do that very quickly and effectively. Help you cut your taxes. Cut your taxes by 30, 40%, and help you to take that money home, just based on some business deductions and starting a small business, for example, or maybe real estate and owning a couple of pieces of real estate property. Cut your insurance costs. Many people don't know it, but they're overpaying on their car insurance, their life insurance, their business insurance. In a quick review, a couple of techniques, a couple of strategies can make a difference in your premiums and your monthly bill. So we'll show you some techniques for doing that. And in fact, one of the things we want to do is to make more money than you've ever imagined. To show you how to make money in the stock market, and real estate, and business, maybe starting your internet business, or whether that's starting your first real estate deal, or whatever it might be. So that you can have a financially secure future and more cash in your future than your past. Let me ask you a question. If all of those things were true, we could show you how to cut your taxes, your insurance, to build more income, to build cash flow on a monthly basis. Would that be worth less than $50? And I know most of you said yes. But I want to make it a little sweeter than that with respect to it. In fact, I believe that, in terms of success and getting to success, that there's a couple of key elements that have to be there in support to get you success. One is you need strategies. So I believe there's 300 financial strategies plus, and you need to apply those 300 strategies to your life. When you apply those 300 strategies, that's the beginning, not the end. There's actually more. So there should be a source of continuing education on a weekly, monthly kind of basis to give you tips and strategies and tactics to keep you on the path to financial freedom. As you learn those strategies, you're going to have to apply them, and applying them often means you need to have feedback. So I believe one of the keys to success is having a coach, a mentor, an ability to ask questions about a strategy, a tactic, a technique, so that you really can apply it to your own life. And that really means ongoing support. The ability to have somebody that you can tap into, a wealth expert, a financial person that can show you some of those strategies and help you apply those strategies, and even some tools, with respect to that can get you onto the path. Well, we have some very specific tools and some very specific support systems that can help you get on the path. First of all, we have a wealth hotline. And that Wealth Hotline is available Monday through Friday from 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 p.m. We also have a monthly newsletter that is 32 pages long that literally over the course of a year gives you hundreds of strategies. We also have a webinar series, a strategy of the month club, that gives you a new strategy, a new technique every single month and kind of explains it in detail. We also have a webinar series to help with respect to that education. And that's part of the Wealthy Network. In fact, we believe when you learn, you earn. Our Wealth Hotline is worth its weight in gold. Those folks are experts when it comes to taxes, credit repair, business structures, asset protection, general investing, tax liens, real estate. They're available Monday through Friday from 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 p.m. So whether it's daytime or morning or evening, you can call in and ask a question. Perhaps you're thinking about starting your small business and you don't know the difference between a C corporation and an S corporation. Call the hotline. Perhaps you're thinking about tax liens and you don't know what the difference between over-the-counter tax liens and auctions are. You call the hotline. Perhaps you're thinking about real estate investing and you want to know, hey, what's best here, a lease option or a contract for deed, or a sandwich lease option, or even what those strategies are. Call the hotline. Perhaps you're thinking, man, my credit got devastated over the last little while. Where can I get a free credit report? And it's not going to cost me any money. I don't have to sign up for a service. The hotline can help you with respect to that, and the hotline can help you in terms of tips and ideas to repair your credit. Maybe you're thinking about taxes, and you're kind of wondering, hey, how do I make some of my medical expenses tax deductible? How do I make my home office tax deductible? And there's some great strategies that are out there that can help you with respect to that. They're worth their weight in gold. In fact, it's been said that, just based on tax strategies alone, they can save you $1,000 to $5,000 on an annual basis. In fact, the average person that we do a deduction review for, we show them how to have an additional $1,200 in deductions, which is about $300 in hard cash coming back to them at the end of the year. In terms of tax strategies, that's just worth the weight in gold by itself. Let's make sure that every trip we take is a business trip, which means we need to start a small business. We have to have the intent of profit. We have to keep good records, and the hotline can help you with respect to that. We can write off certain assets, whether that's a TV or a CD player, or whether that's our video recorder. If we're using it for business, we can write off all of it, if not a portion of it, based on the use of it for our business. So let's learn about how to do that. Medical reimbursement plans. You might have a medical reimbursement plan with your existing business, your job, but did you know that if you set up your own corporation, and it's probably going to be a C corporation, that we can actually set up a medical reimbursement plan to cover the balance of those expenses? That could be literally thousands and thousands of dollars saved every single year because you set it up, right? We can show you how to do that. Maybe you're thinking about doing a home office deduction. You're kind of afraid because you've heard, home office deductions are often challenges. Well, how about using this kind of home office deduction? Kind of a twist on some of the IRS regulations that are out there. We have a business. Let's say we set up a C corporation or an S corporation, and the company decides to use your home once a month. Now, it's going to use your home once a month for business meetings. And those business meetings may be catered or non-catered. They could be all day or a half day. If you had to have a business meeting, at a hotel, in a meeting space, could that be $500 or $1,000 a day? And I know the answer to that is yes. So we're gonna charge whatever that fee is, and maybe it's for meeting for space or entertaining, but we do it one day a month. So one day a month we rent our house. Our company rents our house. Well, there's an interesting twist on the IRS code that basically says, if the business rents something, it's going to be able to write that off as a deduction. And the other part to that is the income that you get from renting your house. If it's less than 14 days a year, and obviously we're doing it one day a month, so that's 12 days a month, it's tax-free, which means we get tax-free income and our business gets a deduction. By the way, that's under RCI Section 280A-G, if you want to go back into terms of the detail. But those kinds of strategies are strategies that our guys deal with all the time. Ways to write off expenses, ways to write off our business trips. In addition to which, we have this great monthly newsletter. It's a 32-page monthly newsletter, jam-packed with ideas, concepts, and strategies every single month. And here's just a partial list from some of the previous months. Maybe we'll talk about credit repair, protecting your job against downsizing and loss, investment principles, slashing your tax bill, how to do a will, flipping property, health insurance tips, investment tax strategy, growth and dividends, marriage and finance, business valuation, tax liens, trading your car, how to profit from a bear market, what an indice and an indicator are, how you make yourself less of an IRS target, identity theft, no money down real estate, charitable giving, business credit, home insurance, corporate funding, the magic of auto insurance do's and don'ts. All of those topics, all of those strategies are meant to do one of two things. One, save you money, right? Or two, make you money. And they're tips and tools and ideas that are well recommended, well thought out, definitely have good fundamentals in terms of strategies and concepts. And we cover them every single month, 32 pages of tips, tools, and ideas that can make a difference in terms of your financial freedom. We also have, for individuals who get started with us, the Quick Start Guide. And the Wealthy Network Quick Start Guide, does several things. There's about 30 strategies in the Quick Start Guide to help you get started immediately. One of those strategies is to give yourself a raise, whether that's starting a small business or working within your existing job and getting you a raise through, some increased deductions and a W4 strategy. We kind of go through that. It kind of builds your retirement, gives you a plan for it. It reduces your chances of audit by a little known technique. Cut your car insurance, your auto insurance, your life insurance. Understand rip-off insurance. Improve your credit. Some tips and tools to get you improving your credit. And we can even cut some of the interest off your credit immediately. All of that's in the Quick Start Guide to help you get on the path to success. We can improve your rates of return, whether that's using tax liens or another investment vehicle. We'll show you some tips and tools and ideas to get you on the path to success. And I really believe, individuals that have listened to me for the last 20 minutes or so deserve a reward. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to give you a reward for taking some action today. And it's about a $300 reward. We have four gifts for you, 4 bonus items, 4 books and materials, manuals that can help you get on the path to success. I think one of the definitive guides when it comes to building wealth is Think and Grow Rich. So the first thing we're going to do is give you a copy of Think and Grow Rich, your own copy, so you can go through Napoleon Hill's basic strategies and techniques and mindset for building long-term wealth. You'll also get a copy of Smart Money Investing. Smart Money Investing is really almost 200 pages of fundamental and technical analysis to teach you some basics in terms of trading the stock market. You'll also get the Real Estate Edge, almost another 200 pages in terms of real estate strategies and techniques to get you on the path to success in terms of investing in real estate. You'll learn about lease options, you'll learn about flipping techniques, you'll learn about assignments, you'll learn about how to make money on the real estate game very quickly. You can also get started in terms of your business. We're going to give you the 30-day Business Edge Guide, and it's literally a 30-day plan. Every single day you do one activity, and if you follow that one activity over the course of 30 days, you'll have a small business up and running. And we normally sell those, those books materials for over $300, and they're yours for taking action today. When you join our network, you get those items for free immediately as downloads. And our network involves several different areas. First of all, our network is a commitment to education. It's a commitment to financial education and sharing with you over 300 strategies immediately and over the course of the next year, additional strategies to help you get on the path to success. We share those strategies in something called the Financial Library, but we also share those strategies in our newsletters and through our other materials as well. In the newsletters, obviously, if you're getting access to 100+ articles, every single year, every single month, you've got new articles, new tactics, new strategies that you can apply, whether that's about marriage and financing or about credit repair or whether it's about investing in real estate. There's usually an article on one of those topics in the newsletter every single month. We have that newsletter coming out. We also have a regular webinar once a month, and that webinar takes one major strategy and walks it through in depth. Some of those strategies in the past have been flipping techniques. Some of those strategies in the past have been investing, like credit spreads, or the mortgages or discount mortgages or whatever it might be. When you think about all of that information, all of those strategies, 300+ strategies and tactics and strategies, you need to have support. So we have the hotline available Monday through Friday from 9 o'clock in the morning to 9 p.m. And those coaches are sitting there waiting for you to call them and ask questions about financial strategies. And you can call as many times as you want. And that's a great resource, a great support for you, and the webinars, and of course we got the bonus. We've got those 4 bonuses that if you take action today, you'll get $300 worth of bonuses just for simply joining our network, and having the privilege and pleasure of working with our coaches over the next period of time. Now, when you join the network, it's less than $50. It's $49.97. That $49.97 immediately gets you access to the network, the coaches and the hotline, the newsletter, the webinars, and you'll get all of your bonuses on a download, as well as soon as you join it. And then if sometime in the future you decide you've got enough information or you're on the path, there's no obligation. You can cancel it at any time, in the future, and no questions, no doubt, no problem. Right. One more bonus I want to give you, and this is actually a $500 bonus, $495 we've sold it for, is the Financial Resource Library. Financial Resource Library is over 300 specific financial strategies that will get you on the path to wealth, that will get you on the path to financial freedom. And whether that's cutting your life insurance, your auto insurance, or borrowing strategies, or buying strategies, or investing, or cutting your tax bill, or small business, real estate, or asset protection strategies, these are the fundamental strategies you want to adopt for a lifetime to make you get success. So what I'm going to ask you to do at this moment is, skip past the sales letter, go right to the bottom where it says Buy Now, click on Buy Now, pay less than $50, $49.97. And when you get $49.97, you become one of our members immediately. You'll have access to the hotline immediately, and you'll get all of those downloads immediately, so you can start taking those strategies and applying them in your life and getting on the path to financial freedom. Thanks for listening for the last 20 minutes ago. This is Jim Francis saying so long for now. I know that destiny has many paths. I'm glad that we had a chance to share a few steps together. Until we meet again, may God hold you softly in the palm of his hands, and thanks for being with me for the last 20 minutes.